go!
Hey guys, how you doing? We're here today with another early access look at the Razbam Mig-19P Farmer. Today we're going to go ahead and push it to the extremes of dogfighting as we go against the French Mirage. We're pretty much just trying to see if the Mig-19 can hold its own against newer generation aircraft in a dogfight situation. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so in order to fight a Mirage, there's certain things that we got to consider, and that's one of the weaknesses of the Mirage. If it comes down to it, I'm going to drag the Mirage down to low altitude if necessary, due to the fact that at low speeds the delta wing design requires a high angle of attack to maintain lift. So theoretically, if I can push him down far enough, he'll have to keep his nose up in order to not hit the ground, and that's going to give me an advantage because he won't be able to get a fire solution on me. Okay, so here we go, getting ready for the merge here. And merge. There he goes. Alright, we're going to do a left bank. Alright, we're going to constantly keep our eye on him, make sure we know what he's doing. Looks like he's going high. That's going to cause him to slow down. As he gains altitude, he's going to push his nose down, and we're going to try to slide in behind him as he comes down. Alright, now notice how I don't just instantly enter the bank with him. I wait a couple seconds. I'll talk about that in the TAC view a little bit. So there he goes off in front of us. We're going to slowly come in behind him. Going to cut throttle here because I don't want to overshoot. Okay, and I'm just going to bank off to the side a little bit. This is going to further reduce my speed. There he goes, he's trying to pull underneath us. Because of the fact that we reduced our speed, we're able to stay behind him like that. The Mig-19 is going to struggle a little bit in this maneuver due to our low speed. Now we can add throttle again, increase speed to stay behind him. We have a good separation, so I'm not worried about overshooting. Okay, let's see if we can get some rounds off at this guy here. This might be where we kill him. And we gotta go for deflection shooting. There it is, that's a hit. We got a hit. Didn't look like it was enough to kill him though. Okay, now we're cutting throttle here. We don't want to overshoot him. Gotta keep eyes on him. Looks like we've entered a rolling scissors here. And yeah, you gotta maintain constant visual on him, because this is the situation where if you lose him, you're in big trouble here. Okay, so maintain constant visual on him. Constantly bank with him. Notice how we're staying behind him, which means he's going to have to exit this scissor at some point or he's going to be in big trouble. Okay. We're still behind him. We might be able to get a nice fire solution. Look at that nose down attitude. He's got to be trying to exit the scissors right here. There he goes. He's exiting the scissors now. He's inverted and he's diving for the ground. That's his exit. Again, we've cut throttle, so now we're going to boost throttle and we're going to follow him down. Constantly on his 6 o'clock. We're adding throttle. Again, notice how the Mig-19 struggles to pull its nose up and with a low speed. Okay, that's due to the swept wing design of the aircraft. that's definitely a position where the Mirage has an advantage over the MiG-19. Okay, but as long as you keep decent separation, you should be fine. Alright, now we're nicely on his 6. This is where we kill him. If he starts to pull vertical, he's done. And that's exactly what he's doing. Take off a wing here. There you go. Hit. That looks like a kill, pilot ejection. Beautiful. And that's a kill. Splash 1. Alright guys, so let's go and talk about this in the TAC view a little bit then. Alright guys, here's our TAC view. I apologize if I sound a little funky. I'm a little sick right now, so don't mind that. This is the model for the MiG-19 here. It hasn't been exported for TAC view, so it just shows up as a little triangle for right now. This is the Mirage off in front of us here. And the first thing we're going to do is merge. I am going to go for a horizontal turn. He is going to transfer his kinetic energy for potential as he goes vertical slightly, and then he tries to turn into me. And he's going to turn into me because he's going to try to create BFM problems for me, which means maneuverability problems. If he had turned the other way, he would have made my life a lot easier, right? Basically, rule of thumb most of the time is turn into your target. You're going to create problems for him, which is what this Mirage is doing here. Now, as I come in, notice how, like, this is something to talk about. It's something you see with newer players a lot. As the Mirage comes down like this, from here, I can already tell what he's doing, right? I'm not going to just start setting an intercept route and trying to come here because I won't be able to turn out of it. You know, I won't be able to do a turn. If I start to do my turn here, I'm going to end up overshooting, right? If I go too far, like this one, I'm going to end up, again, going way too far out. And it's going to create its own set of problems. What I am going to do is maintain my own angle as is right now. Okay, so I'm still continuing I'm going straight, knowing full well what he's doing, which is, again, coming this way. And I'm just going to continue going straight, as you saw all through here, right? I continued straight. And as he pulls down, I'm then going to slide in behind him, okay, which is going to allow me to stay on his 6 o'clock. So yeah, this is one of the things you see with newer guys. They just, you know, jump the gun on turning into the target, and what happens is they end up overshooting. All right, so we got, see, notice that? Again, continuing to commit forward and then turning. And this is the other thing I wanted to talk about, is we're just going to get rid of labels real quick. And so I had the option here of doing a vertical, not a vertical, what do you call that? Like a 90-degree down, like this. Yeah, I guess that would be vertical. Come down like this. However, what happens in this situation, especially with the MiG-19, is it gains way too much energy in the way down, even if you cut throttle. And what happens is when you try to pull out to come up behind him, the MiG-19 is going to struggle. So the best way to do it that I found is to come down on a horizontal angle, like a slight offset to either direction, either left or right, doesn't really matter depending on the direction that your target's going. but try not to do these like full verticals with the Mig-19 anyway, because it's very difficult to pull out of them. It definitely struggles doing that. So we're going to pull up behind the Mirage here, committing. Once again, notice that there's a slight overshoot. I'm not entirely on his 6. I don't want to say overshoot, but you know, I'm not exactly on his flight path here, but it's good enough because as I pull my nose up, there he is, right? And I've cut throttle as I do this, because if you increase throttle, you're gonna end up down here somewhere, and that's not where you want to be, because then he's looking right at you, right? So you want to cut throttle and do this, and then right around as you start to pull your nose up, you want to add throttle so that you can get your nose up. All right. And then you can see here as he continues, we're going to fall right on his 6 o'clock here. Put labels back on. And in this situation, it's just a matter of watching your throttle discipline. Don't just stay full afterburner the entire time. The Mig-19 picks up speed really quickly, so it's really easy to overshoot. You can see that nose pulling up a little bit. This is how you would line up a deflection shot. Right on a 6 o'clock here. Couple of rounds there. I think we nicked his wing, but it obviously wasn't enough to do any kind of serious damage as far as I could tell. Now here is the part where we start to enter the rolling scissors. Okay, now notice how close we are and the constant merging and separation. And what I found with the rolling scissors is it's not the maneuver that's challenging, it's maintaining visual on the target while you're doing this. Because what happens is, you know, as you come in for these merges, like right here, you end up, if you're really close like we were here, you end up actually losing visual confirmation on the guy, and he might do something and you won't see it, and then you're screwed. Because when you lose sight on the target, you lose the fight. Okay, so you got to constantly keep your eyes. That's what I find challenging about the scissors here, but that's what I was doing, constantly maintaining visual. Now, notice how I'm always situated behind him on all of these merges. Okay, except for the first one. The first one we're pretty even. I am slightly behind him, but not enough to, you know, be of any kind of real danger. And the second one, you can see I'm again behind him. The third one, I'm again behind him. So at this point, it should be a clue to him that this scissor thing that he's trying to do is not working. Okay, it's not working for him, so he's going to have to find an exit out of this thing. Exiting a scissor is very dangerous, very challenging. And he's just gonna, he did a decent one, if I'm being honest. You know, he just banked and nose down. If you have a decent amount of altitude, it's a good thing. But again, because I had my throttle discipline basically set up nicely, I was, you know, low on the throttle as we were doing this. I was able to see what he was trying to pull and pull right up on a 6 o'clock like that. Once again, adding throttle as we pull our nose up. And here we are again, sitting right on the Mig, or on the Mirage's tail. And at this point, it just becomes a game of when I'm going to be able to line up the shot. Now, we've talked about this on my videos a couple of times, probably more than that actually. When you have a guy on your tail like this and your speeds are pretty low, like a true air speed of 310 is not great, and as he starts to notice how he's got his nose up here, and which means he's going to lose more speed because his nose is up, and which means he's probably going to go vertical, which is how I guessed in the video that he was going to do that. I was basing that off of the aspect that I was watching his plane. I could see his nose going up, so I knew there was a high probability that he was going to try to pull up. And you know, we talked about this in the other videos, the fact that when you have a guy on your 6 like this and your speed is low and you decide to go vertical, you're more than likely going to get yourself killed. Okay, which is what happens here. because what happens is you start to lose speed. So this guy was at 310, now he's at 299. Look at that, 280, 270, 260, and he's going to die at 250 as he goes vertical. The only time I would ever be doing this is if I had a tremendous amount of speed and I knew that I was going to be able to jink him as I did this. He's not going to be able to jink anything at 250, true airspeed of 250, right? If anything, he just made himself an easy kill for me. So that's what happens there. So yeah, you guys can pretty much see that the Mig-19 is a very capable aircraft. Obviously, we're fighting against AI here, and the AI is never going to push the Mirage to its absolute capabilities. So I don't recommend this against like a real pilot. This is obviously early access, and I can't get a real pilot in here for right now. But for the most part, the Mirage is capable of killing. Sorry, the Mig-19 is capable of killing just about anything it comes across with guns. If you're going to be fighting against missiles, that's a whole different story. I don't recommend that at all. But yeah, the Mig-19 can definitely dogfight with just about anything out there if you know what you're doing with it. So that's going to be the video for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.